So Boosie,
oh Lord,
was on, on his phone recently. He had some
in a gym or something.
Yeah, he was somewhere. He was on his phone. He had some words about D Wade talking about his son coming out as transgender, and here's it is.
Dwyane Wade, you gone too far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything at 16, and fall in love with her. But his be gone. How you gonna, like, bro? You going too far, dog. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his off, bro. Like, don't address him as a woman, dog. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet. Don't cut his off, Dwyane Wade, bro. You tripping, dog. You tripping, dog.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Oh man,
Boosie is.
It's so.
He's crazy.
It's so funny to me because he says it with so much. He means everything that he's saying right now.
Ounce of
but
him.
the way he says it is so. Woo! It's so funny to me. It makes me want to cry.
It is. It's hilarious.
Oh man.
He sounds like he's rapping. It sounds like Boosie on a track.
Don't cut off his. I'm sorry. He says it with so much gusto.
Yeah.
So much conviction.
So
okay.
much.
So, what do you think about this? Because honestly, one, Boosie doesn't really have any place to say anything at all in
advice.
regards to how D Wade raises his children
Right.
or raises his child, right?
Yeah.
And second, if that's what the kid wants, that's what the kid wants. If that's what he claims herself to be, then she should be able to claim herself as that.
Right.
I mean, we're just in that world now.
Right.
So for him to say something like that is just kind of like, all right. To me, I feel like if I was D Wade, I would be like, all right, I hear your opinion, moving on.
Right.
Like, it's not going to change anything on what I think.
For
And,
sure.
and it doesn't mean that he's going to be chopping anything off.
That's the part.
That doesn't mean that anything's going to go down there.
That's the part that made me
You know
turn
what I'm
my
saying?
head. When I watched it, my head turned. I was like, wait, he never. Who said this was going to happen?
Who said it was going to be
But
chopping anything off?
You know, that just goes to show like a little bit of Boosie's ignorance on this subject. That he doesn't know. Like, D Wade never said the kid was transitioning. He just said he wants to be referred to as a she. So that's not the same as going under the knife and having a transition.
Yes.
I don't even think you can legally do that yet at his age. Even with consent, I don't think it's allowed.
No, I mean, even legally, no, I don't think it
you
has
have
to
to
be
be
at
18.
I think it has to be a particular age. I think it's 16.
Okay, right.
I think, but
So,
I could be completely wrong. But he is obviously miseducated in this situation,
and a lot of people are.
and he's misinformed with what's going on in regards to what happens behind their own closed doors in the privacy of their own home. Now, when it comes to that situation, it's like, before you make a video like that, look at things up, look some stuff up before
Not
you start
Boosie.
saying that stuff. But I mean,
Boosie says,
he says whatever he wants, but
He's
at the
crazy.
he says whatever the hell he wants, but at the same time, like, on some real stuff. And I get that he has his own platform and he's just saying what he has to say to his people, because there are people out there that literally think exactly what he's thinking.
Oh.
They're going, oh man,
They agree with him.
you mean they're gonna be cutting his thing off?
Oh,
No,
hell
that
yeah.
ain't cool, man. No, man, he's only 12, man.
Right.
And it's like, wait a second, no, he is just acknowledging that his now daughter, Zaya, is referring to themselves as a she. That's it.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with anything further than that. Now,
Right.
that change, that pronoun could change when he's 16, when she is 16.
Right.
When Zaya's 16, she might go, well, actually, no, I identify as male, as a
Right.
he,
Right.
or a they. You never know.
You never
but we
know.
are in this world now where we have to be sensitive to these things.
But you know what?
If Zaya wants to refer herself as a she, then that's fine.
Yeah.
The physical stuff, that's another conversation.
That's
but
different.
Zaya's only 12.
Right.
Give it a second.
Give it a second.
She only 12.
Yeah. And you know what?
You know?
I will say this. I do feel like a lot of this backlash, Dwyane Wade has brought on himself, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like he did a press run about this. You can address it because you're posting pictures of your now daughter and people are asking questions. So you can make a statement, this is how my child is choosing to live and we're going to support her, period. He's been on 3 different platforms talking about this.
You want to know why he was on 3 different platforms?
I mean, I don't care. It's too much.
No, but you want to know why?
The kid is not fair.
No, it is fair.
What if the kid grows up at 16 and is like, Dad, you didn't need to blow me out there like that?
Not fair, but you don't know. First off, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. What if Zaya's sitting there going, "Yeah, Dad, go for it, go for it."
12.
Now, hold up. Let me say the other reason why. Though there's a reason why he's getting in front. He's getting in front of the situation. He's getting in front of all the photos that are going out all over social media and all the magazine covers and all that stuff.
Pascal.
No.
All you need to make is one statement.
No. But
you don't need
also,
to go on a press run about your kid.
But he also is going in a situation where he's going, okay, this is my now daughter. My son now refers to himself as a she, all that stuff. So, and there is a movement. You cannot sit here and deny the fact that there is a movement going on in the LGBTQ plus community.
And he's exploiting his kid.
So because of that, no, he's not exploiting his kid. If his kid is sitting there and saying, "Hey, Dad, you know what? Go for it. I'm okay with it." It's not like he's going and telling all this stuff to the world without his consent of his own child. He had to say it
one time. You don't need to be on Ellen and this interview and that interview talking about your son's sexuality. I think it's unfair to do this to a 12. Who would do this to their 12-year-old child? My 12-year-old's in a relationship and I'm going to share it to the world over and over and over. It's too much. It's too much.
So Lydia,
one time.
Lydia.
The heck?
First off, I love you. Second, I'll sit here and say this. I agree with you to a certain extent. Okay, there's a privacy. There's a certain amount of privacy that's involved in anything that goes on in your own personal life within your family. But at the same time, when there's a huge movement going on, when there is a child that you have that is maybe part of that movement and wants to make it okay for other kids to come out in a way, I'm sure they've had a long discussion about this.
We don't know.
As a family, I'm sure.
I'm assuming that. Right.
I'm assuming that they've had a conversation as a family to say, hey, we are going to attack this head on because no matter what, that he would have to answer those questions that are being asked because no, not all the one time. No, now you're starting to sound like Kevin Hart.
No.
Oh, I already said sorry once.
Why would you? So, Pascal, you don't understand. When you have a child, your duty is to protect your child. You can make a statement about your child's sexuality and then leave it alone.
No, okay.
Your child's gender is nobody's freaking business. But he's famous, so I get it. They got to get ahead of it.
Exactly.
You issue a statement and you move on with your life. Your child is now in the headlines 4 weeks now. You on 5 platforms, talking about 3, talking about your son.
He went to 3 platforms that were predominantly female and gay demographics.
Sounds like an exploitation to me. It sounds like they're in the headlines.
I don't think it's an exploitation.
To me it is, and that's why people are.
I really think
he's getting this backlash, like people saying, "Mind your business." This is our business. You're making it our business. It's on daytime. I'm watching it on Ellen. I'm listening to it on the radio.
They're making it They're making it their business, and they're making it a situation because this is a family that's out in the public. They're out in the public eye. Mm-hmm. Now, if it was just you and me, and then obviously not us because we out in the public eye too. What's up? Anyway, but no. If we were just regular Joes, if we were just some regular family, just the regular Johnson family, right, just chilling, kicking it, all that stuff. We had a transgender child, we don't have to answer to anybody. But when we are the Wade family, we have a wife that's on television. We got a superstar athlete of a father. We are taking photos for lifestyle. We're taking photos for everything, brands, etc. Mm-hmm. You're just taking a photo. They could do one thing of them taking a dump on a chair, and then suddenly they're on TMZ. Oh, see, D Wade was taking a dump. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. They're such under a huge, like a huge microscope that they have to address these things. So it's like, okay, why is their son wearing high heels in this photo? That doesn't make any sense. You understand that all these photos that they're putting out to the general public, they're getting like zoomed in and scrutinized and just picked like crazy.
Yeah.
So when a situation like this happens, it's kind of like, you know what? My son is coming out as a transgender. And he wants to be referred to as she. We've already talked and we've already did our research. We already know about all this stuff. There's a huge movement going on that involves what my son is going through, you know, or now daughter is going through. Let me talk to my daughter. Let me talk to my family. Make sure it's okay, because no matter what.
And the world.
Because no matter what. And the world.
Let's just agree to disagree, Pascal.
World,
I don't agree with this.
Because.
And I won't.
Eventually, and that's fine.
I
But
think it's wrong.
eventually, they're going to have to address those questions of like, why is your son dressed as a girl? Eventually, because people are going to automatically think that they're raising their child wrong.
One statement is all he had to make.
They're going to automatically think that they're raising their child wrong.
One time.
Of course. Of course. Only one time. I understand one time. But I think at the same time, they're seeing something that is empowering and is helping change and helping with that particular movement.
It's hurting too.
Whether it's
hurting him too, you know. There's a lot of
sure it's hurting him.
I'm sure he's caught in the middle. He's a kid.
I'm sure it's hurting the hell out of him.
It's not all positive. A lot of the stuff that's going on is listen to this
But
Boosie
sometimes
clip.
you got to sacrifice.
It's embarrassing.
But sometimes you got to sacrifice for a particular thing. If you're trying to get a particular narrative or a particular movement out there, an understanding of something, you got to get in front of it. Sometimes you have to make self-sacrifices to get a word out there. I wouldn't say they're exploiting.
They definitely.
I wouldn't say that they're exploiting.
This is exploitation to me. Get your boy's name out the news every doggone day.
Woo, okay.
Shoot.
No, that's totally fine.
There's a lot of celebrities we don't even know what their kids' names are. We
True.
know everything about this boy.
True.
Hide him a little bit. Give him some kind of safety.
I see your point there.
That's sad to me.
I
don't
see
know.
your point. And you know, and hey, here it is. They might be exploiting. They might be. Like you could very well have a very good point. I'm going to take that back. You do have some very good points here. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you could. You do have some good points here. You know, but I think that there's both sides of the fence that are very. There are points on both sides of the fence, regardless. You know what I mean? And that's why these kind of discussions need to be had.
They got
you
to.
know, they need
got
to be whether you know we don't agree on things all the time. No, we don't actually.
We don't.
Not a lot.
But I think that's good.
Not a lot.
Because people need to see other perspectives.
Well, we can still give each other a high five.
Hey!
And that was the wackest, weakest high five.
It actually hurt my wrist.
Did I break your wrist?
You strong.
Off of that. But we can still have a high five and keep it moving and you know, have these conversations.
And respect each other.
Respect the hell out of each other, even
Yeah.
though you're totally wrong. I'm totally playing.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.